Welcome, one and all. This is the trailer for a new show called The Gifted Kid Complex.
The show where the panelists were gifted kids and refuse to move on.
We satirically take on intellectual elitism by having the most tongue-in-cheek, inane, pedantic, and convoluted conversations. Without further ado, let's introduce our two-person cast. So, introducing my co-host, her burnout is imminent. It's Teia C.
Hello. I read history at the University of Oxford. And introducing my co-host, she's ambitious to the point of hubris. It's Cher C.
Hello, I read philosophy at UCL, otherwise known as University College London, because I was rejected by Cambridge.
Our condolences for that. We'll be alternating hosts every week between the two of us, and sometimes we'll feature guests on the show to join us in the pretentious silliness. We'll be introducing ourselves in more depth in our first episode coming out soon, so let's talk about what the Gifted Kid Complex is.
Tay and I are co-hosting this comedy podcast because we share something in common. We were both gifted kids when we were young and shaped our lives in many ways, and we will talk about that on the show, but it's also totally informed our senses of humor.
Maybe you had a similar experience growing up. We're convinced that we are absolutely hilarious when we're together, and we hope that sense of humour entertains you just as it does us.
And if you're like us, someone who enjoys weirdly specific trivia, lateral overthinking, and explicit satire, you found a little niche on the internet that we hope might resonate with you here. The show will be primarily comedic, but that doesn't mean we won't be a little educational along the way.
Every week, we'll come together just to banter and play some games, over-analysing and intellectualising the whole time. The host of the week will prepare and write that week's episode, so the other one of us will always be surprised, along with the listeners.
Anticipate chaotic ad-libbing and many improvised non-sequiturs. Some of the games we'll play will be more likely academic, the sort of games you have to pull from knowledge and critical thinking to play, and others, not so much.
There'll be an academic game each episode, but we'll also play a game that's purely for fun too. But don't worry, you can expect the same unnecessarily intellectual tone as the show derails over the course of an episode.
And the format is simple. It's just us, two previously gifted kids, now struggling undergrads, entertaining and educating each other, and hopefully entertaining and educating you too. If you're interested in watching this overtly ostentatious chaos unfold, you can find us on all major podcast streaming services.
Thank you to riverside.fm and rss.com for helping bring this podcast to life. We couldn't be doing this without you. And to our listeners, we'll be releasing 3 episodes together shortly after this trailer comes out, and we should be releasing a new episode every week on Tuesdays after that. Here are some snippets of what's to come. You could just introduce random things.
I invoke the power of René Descartes.
I bring back old Chinese military generals.
Oh yes, we love that.
I resurrect Sun Tzu.
This is awful, yeah.
I recreate the Corvus from the Punic War to smash into you.
It sounds like a good time.